Welcome to the podcast. My name is Fatih Amkwadi. This is the Into Pod podcast. Now, Donald Trump loves the word tariffs. And tariff is his fourth most loved word after the word God, love, and religion. Now, what happened this week? I think it should be called the week of tariff dramas because Donald Trump had initially declared an economic emergency to place duties of 10% on all imports from China and 25% on imports from Mexico and Canada. Energy imported from Canada, including oil, natural gas, and electricity, would be taxed at 10%. The targeted countries are United States' three largest trading partners. Now, Donald Trump, while he was campaigning for elections, he said, "I'll be placing tariffs on any country that doesn't cooperate with the American vision." These included countries that are close to America and the countries that are far from America. Now, what just happened this week? Let's look at it. Donald Trump imposed tariffs on countries such as Mexico and Canada because he wanted to curb illegal migration into America, and also he wanted to curb the spread of fentanyl into America. But when he asked the leaders of the countries to try and help solve the situation, they were reluctant to do so. So Donald Trump had one weapon to use against them. He said, "Now, because I've talked to you man to man and you can't listen to what I've said, let me place tariffs on you." So Donald Trump declared this week that he's going to impose the 25% taxes on these countries. Now, what did the countries do in retaliation? Canada and Mexico all said their sovereignty cannot be dictated by people from outside, meaning Donald Trump. That was at first when Donald Trump declared these tariffs. But later on, they caved in and said, "Oh, we are ready to cooperate." And even the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, said, "I'm ready to deploy 10,000 National Guard members to the US-Mexico border." So this has made Donald Trump look like he's the winner in a battle that he was supposed to look like he is the villain. And the story just gets amazing. Now, what does this have to do? Now, underscoring the potential effects if permanent deals are not reached, Canada provided more than 4.3 million barrels of oil a day to the United States. The US tends to consume about 20 million barrels a day according to the US Energy Information Administration. It has been producing domestically about 13.2 barrels daily. So this means for the 4.3 million barrels that Canada supplies America, they were going to be tariffed 10%. I think this is hurting the Canadian economy because Canada apparently is the biggest trader of America. Now let's get to this. This is as per the AP News article. It says, Trump says these levies are about immigration and drug, downplaying economics. Now, the president talked often as a candidate and for decades before he entered politics about U.S. trade deficits. He blasted international trade deals and bemoaned the steady flow of manufacturing goods out of the United States to other countries. But he was framed his latest action as leverage on immigration and drugs. Trump is blaming the three U.S. partners for not doing enough to stop the flow of fentanyl into U.S. markets. He blames Mexico and to a lesser extent Canada for an inflow of migrants across the border. Now, Donald Trump has been using these tariffs not as a way to kill the Canadian or Mexican economies, but as a way to negotiate some things that America wants done, such as stopping the immigrants flowing in from Mexico, from South American countries, or from North American, or from other countries who are getting into America illegally through these countries' borders. And also he wanted that drug be reduced so that Mexico and Canada doesn't become the biggest port of entry for the drugs that get into America and are hurting the American people, such as the fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin, and bang, and all these drugs. So I think Donald Trump has placed the biggest scorecard, and that is the advantage of electing a businessman to become a president. When you look at the former administration, they allowed people to get into America. But when you look at this administration, they keep America first. And America is what everyone feels like and America is what the conservative feels like it should be given the first chance, especially when it comes to privileges such as working and also such as production, such as improving the economy. Like America should be given the first priority. Now, what just happened here? Trump order included a promise to escalate the tariffs if U.S. trading partners answered with their own. That threat did not prevent a swift response. Now, before they talked to Trump on Monday, the Mexican president had ordered retaliation tariffs, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he will put matching 25% tariffs on up to $155 billion in U.S. imports. Trudeau urged Canadians to choose Canadian products when shopping, effectively urging a boycott of U.S. goods locally. Multiple premiers of Canadian provinces said they will be removing American alcohol brands from the government stores and shelves. On Tuesday, China Ministry of Commerce announced it was implementing counter tariffs against the U.S. on multiple products, a 15% tariffs on coal and liquefied natural gas, as well as 10% tariffs on crude oil, agriculture, machinery, and large displacement cars. Like even Donald Trump cares. I mean, Donald Trump is a drill, baby, drill. So you cannot leverage something like oil on America, because I think America has enough oil in its reserves. So at this point, I feel like China is losing the war. China is not getting to fight against the US, because at first, as I said, it had said we are going to the World Trade Economic Forum for us to negotiate these deals. But apparently, America has been blocking judges from being appointed into the World Trade Organization. So that could not be done by China, because China did not get the full bench to listen to their case. Now, what will be the impact of these tariffs on the normal consumer? Now, these tariffs will cause the price of goods to rise, which will be different from what Trump had promised his people of America when he was campaigning. He said, I'll make sure that the price of goods comes down. But now we have tariffs that are being imposed to China, and apparently China supplies about 76% of the American goods. So at this point, the price of goods will rise, the purchasing power will go down, because people will not be able to afford the goods that are being displayed in the shelves. So I think on the other side, I think this has helped America so much, given that these presidents that caving in, the presidents and the prime ministers that caving in one by one and saying, oh, listen, Trump, we are going to listen to you, we are going to cooperate with you, and we are going to do as you wish, because we are doing, and then you finish the line with, we are doing it for a greater good. But apparently that shows like you are caving in. And you know what's funny? Donald Trump had stated that Canada cannot survive without America, and he feels like Canada is the 51st state of America. 51st state of America. That is just, I think this guy is a G. This guy is amazing, and these are the leaders that the world has been waiting for. Donald Trump should just be, I think he's bringing the world into order. The guy loves tariffs. The guy loves when wars end. He doesn't love when people fight. And I feel like the American people made the right choice. What's your view about it? Show me some comments in the inbox as we speak more. Thank you so much. This has been the Into Pod podcast. Follow, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is your number one channel for trendy news. And also, you can buy me super chats. And we can link up on social media at the Into Pod podcast at the DJ Fatty De La Cruz.